Hi, Amy. Hi, Johannes. Welcome to the Goodera team. And I feel completely honored to be sitting with you today and discussing the workings of your nonprofit, Infinite Family, and celebrating the Nelson Mandela Day together. So I believe it's the right time to begin our interview. And if it's okay, can I start with my first question?
Sure, but first let us thank you for this opportunity. We are very excited to share the work of Infinite Family with the entire Goodera community.
That is so great, Amy. So, yeah. So, the very first thing that I would like to know is why is it important to celebrate the Nelson Mandela Day?
For me, a Nelson Mandela Day, it's a day to assist others and giving back to the communities or NGOs, giving your time and assisting those who, how can I put this, be a role model for others, give time to others, share whatever you have that you can share to others. As Nelson Mandela has assisted us in terms of breaking the apartheid era, and we are living in equality, and there's freedom, there's everything now due to him.
Nelson Mandela was an incredible role model for the whole world. And at Infinite Family, we really believe that the mentorship model and learning from other role models is an incredible way to break the bonds of apartheid and the situation that apartheid left this generation of young people in, that they need more role models from all over the world in order to be able to kind of catch up and participate in the 21st century work world and the technology work world. And that learning from others, learning from mentors, learning from adults around the world is the way to do that, and can really quickly be a life-changing activity. So it's really kind of taking Mandela's experience and putting it on steroids.
I like that rephrasing of the whole thing. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Considering the times that we are in right now, we do need strong role models, and people like Nelson Mandela should be one of the top listed personalities.
Can I tell one quick little story that you've made me think of?
Yes.
So we had a net buddy named Andrew, and he had a hard time at the beginning kind of understanding really why having a mentor would be really important in his life. And he then had a mentor for about 10 years. And looking back on the experience, what he has said to us is, I grew up in a place where all I saw was failure. Adults around me would take risks and they would fail. So as a young person, when I saw that, why would I take any risks, right? Why would I try something new? Why would I try and break the mold of what I see around me? Why would I go outside of my comfort zone? He said, but then I got connected with mentors and realized and learned from them, and they shared their experience of failing sometimes multiple times, learning from that experience, and then finally succeeding. So he now is in the process. He's in business school. He's done his undergraduate. He's in business school at university. He's getting his degree and he wants to be an entrepreneur, but he understands that he from learning from his mentors, that this is going to be a move forward, 2 steps back, learn process until he finally finds his path to success. But without the mentor, he wouldn't have understood that you can have success after multiple failures. And so that's kind of, a whole different mind shift and worldview on what is possible with someone's life. And that's really what we're trying to share with the kids in South Africa, because they've been surrounded by a worldview that is very restricted and very limited. And we want to break that worldview open and let them all be successful in whatever way they feel is best for them.
Absolutely correct. And Amy, I believe this story brings a very, very fresh perspective towards the whole reason why we are celebrating this Nelson Mandela Day. Because honestly, I never thought it this way. that just mentors and stories like this, how much of an impact can this have on a person's life? And yes, absolutely correct. So I will, yeah, please.
Oh, well, I was just again, you made me realize that one of the most important things that our mentors share with their net buddies is that they have overcome challenges, right? When you grow up in a world, Johannes is shaking his head. Johannes was one of our pioneer net buddies from 2007. So when you grow up in a world where you don't have contact with people that have faced obstacles and overcome them, and all you see are people that have been held back by obstacles, which is what apartheid did, right? Apartheid very systematically took away South Africans' opportunities, choices, their ability to make decisions about their life. And so they restricted their, everything about what could be possible by overcoming obstacles. And the kids that are growing up in the townships today, by only seeing the world that they're in, believe that they are the only ones that are stuck in these situations and cannot get out of where they are. When they meet a mentor who talks about obstacles that they have faced and overcome, the net buddy, which is what we call our mentees, starts to think, oh my goodness, well, if that person faced that, and that and overcame it, I can too. And then we see them do that. I hope we have a chance to tell you about some of that a little bit later in this discussion, but it's very exciting because once a young person realizes that they can change the path they're on, that their effort and their hard work make a difference, then they're off and running and they're in control of the rest of their lives.
Exactly, when I believe they did not understand that they can actually get success. They just thought that life is full of struggles and difficulties and it's all about failures. But then they meet a mentor, they hear about stories like this, and they believe that yes, even I can get success, even I can get the things that I deserve and the things that I want in my life. Yeah, that's really nice.
Exactly.
Yes. So my next question is so to celebrate this day, what are the few activities that Infinite Family has taken?
So at Infinite Family, we believe that sharing your life expertise and your experience should be something that happens all the time, right? That in Nelson Mandela's, as a role model, in his example, that helping the next generation come along is exactly a way to honor what you've learned and what you owe the next generation. And we don't think it should be limited to a day a year. So at Infinite Family, what we've done is create a volunteering opportunity that is very short. It adds up to about 2 days a year, but it's in 30-minute increments. And our net buddies and our worldwide mentors, they connect together for 30 minutes a week, about 30 weeks a year, and spread that volunteer experience over a longer period in a way that really affects and changes a child's life, a teen's life. We do it through technology, so you can be anywhere in the world and you can really play an influential and inspirational role in a young person's life. And rather than limiting, Nelson Mandela did not limit his leadership to 1 day a year. And we really believe that the people in our community have so much to offer that we shouldn't limit it to 1 day a year either, but rather should build relationships that go on and become part of a person's life and become really part of an ongoing experience that is fulfilling to everybody, as opposed to kind of jump in for 1 day and out. But the experience we've created, when you add it up, adds up to only 2 days a year. So it's not extensively a more it's a more fulfilling investment. It's not a more time-consuming investment, if that's a good way to say it. Johannes, maybe you'd like to add something to this,
Yes,
to
yes.
how this works?
Okay, yes, I would like to add. Let me make an example. Where I grew up, we did not have an access to a computer nor an internet. So due to Infinite Family, after they've installed a lab and gave us the internet so we can come and chat to our video mentors, that played an important role in our lives, because we were able to engage with our net buddies and video mentors, and our video mentors were able to share and assist us with our schoolwork, and that really assisted me, as I was one of those kids who were struggling at school. But due to my video mentor, I managed to pass my matric, which is known as grade 12, with great marks. And that led me to go to a university and even pass my university due to that video mentor.
So we have a success story right here in front of us.
Very much. And you know, the life-changing impact of going to university, most of the teens in our communities, in the townships in South Africa, they don't expect even to finish high school. So by finishing high school, again, this is coming back to by being pushed by their mentor to do something that they don't think they can do, and then achieving that, and then achieving it, as Johannes said, with marks that better than he expected, that led him to university. All of a sudden, there is so much more opportunity that he can grab for the rest of his life.
So adding on to all the things that you've told me, Amy, I really want to see even more pictures. So if you can slide more.
So, you know, this is the young people in our communities, as Johannes said, they do not have access to computers or the internet until Infinite Family sets up our computer labs, right? These are our launch pads. And this is where the young people come after school and on the weekends to have access to computers and the internet and their video mentors. And so being able to do research online, being able to do their homework online, you know, just opens up a world of new ways to learn. And then being able to work with their video mentors, they both are inspired and ignited to work harder, but also they have more perspectives to take from as they're thinking about their homework and as they're doing their research. So these are the communities. This is an example of a community like where we have put the launch pads, right? So there's, you know, often there's not indoor running water. You can see the tap on the top picture where people have to come and get their water every day. There might be some electricity, but there's certainly not internet or enough electricity to, nobody has laptops, cell phones are even a little bit rare. So imagine stepping out of a world experience, going home from school through a community like this, and then jumping into one of our launch pads, which kind of shows you what the 21st century work world would look like and helps you position yourself and know that you do belong there, that this is a place where you should be, where you're comfortable, where you know how to interact, where you know how to use the technology, and where you know how to get the answers that will help you move your life ahead in the direction that you want it to go. One of the things that we know is that if you see the yellow bar, the third row in, if a teen drops out of school in South Africa, they will pretty much earn less than $200 or less than 3,000 Rand a month for the rest of their lives, right? If they graduate from high school, they'll double that. But then if they go on and get any advanced education at all, whether it's a 2-year college, a vocational school, or getting into a university like Johannes did, they will incredibly increase their income on a monthly level and an annual level right? If they do a 3-year university degree, they will 5 times their income. And if they go all the way through a 4, 5, 6-year degree, then they will multiply their income by at least 8 times, maybe 10 or 12. And that is really, really not only changing their lives, but changing the lives of their family and everyone in their community, because that brings more money into the community, that lets their nieces and nephews go to school, right? It just changes the whole infrastructure of everyone around them, and the potential and the future of not only their own life, but everybody's life.
Yep.
And again, you know, here are the pictures of some of the graduates. You see Johannes on the left.
Yes.
You know, but this all comes from this model of these small touch points over an extended period of time, right? We talk about our net buddies they are already demonstrate resilience, resourcefulness, and responsibility, which are really 3 of the characteristics that Nelson Mandela exhibited his whole life that we think are incredibly important. And one of the things our mentors do is unlock and have our teens see that they have those strengths, resilience, resourcefulness, and responsibility, in order to continue moving their life forward and do the hard work and graduate and then get those good jobs, right? But Nelson Mandela didn't do this, you know, for a little bit of his life. He exhibited these characteristics, resilience, resourcefulness, his whole life. When he was in prison for 27 years, right, he didn't quit learning. He kept asking for more books to be brought into the prison. He and his fellow prisoners managed to get information from the outside world and keep learning about what was going on, and keep preparing themselves for opportunities that they didn't know would come, right? They did not know that they would be released and have the opportunity to tear apart apartheid and create opportunities for everyone. But they kept working at it, and they prepared themselves for those opportunities. And you know, that is what our mentors do. They inspire the teens to keep working, not to drop out of school, to prepare themselves to get ready, and then grab that opportunity, to create that opportunity and then run with it. Johannes, I just want to see if there's anything you may have a story to add.
Yes. To add on what Amy just said, my video mentor was such a role model. I could say, if it was not him, I wouldn't be here. Education is the most powerful weapon which one can use to change the world.
We like everyone to learn that one, because we agree completely. And what we know, as I said before, is that the power of advanced education, if we can get young people through high school and into advanced education, that is a huge multiplier of both their current and future income. And that's really how they're going to change their own lives. The other thing we found out is that by connecting young people with mentors, right? Young people as teenagers, they spend a lot of time doubting themselves, right? They're faced with all sorts of new things. They're in a period of their life where they need to make decisions that will affect their whole lives, but they don't have the life experience to know how it's going to go. So it's very easy to believe that they don't know how to make the right decision. And having the opportunity to speak with a mentor over and over and over and over and get some feedback on some of those decisions helps them both stay on track so that they do finish high school, and helps them stay inspired to work really hard so they do better than they think they possibly can. And one of the things that has been really exciting at Infinite Family is that since we've started, since the very beginning, of our video mentored teens all the way through 12th grade, 100% of them have qualified for the college and for the university that's going to take them into that much more self-reliant, independent, successful life. That 100% of them have qualified for advanced education, and that 9 out of 10 of them have qualified for the highest level top-tier universities. So we absolutely know that the power of 30 minutes a week of being connected with someone that has life experience to share, that has been through the bumps, the ups and downs, has overcome challenges, right? There's no secret sauce here. There's no magic. There's no one specific set of experience. It's the experience of going through life, of facing challenges, of overcoming challenges. And that's what we've all done as adults. But having access to someone who's done that in another world helps our young people in South Africa's townships realize that they have it within themselves to do exactly the same thing, to be just as successful as anybody else, to be a neurosurgeon, to fly a plane, right? To do absolutely anything in any of those jobs that are possible. And we see it all the time. I mean, we got an email a little bit ago. We got an email. A young man had not been in contact with his video mentor for 5 years. And he sent an email back through Infinite Family trying to find his mentor so that he could let her know that 5 years on, he was studying to be a neurosurgeon. And that he credited her for pushing him and getting him through high school so that he had the opportunity to now study. And he's in his 3rd or 4th year on his way. I got a WhatsApp from him yesterday.
Oh my God, yes.
He's staying, now that he's reconnected, he's staying in good contact with us and letting us know about his journey every day. Go ahead, Amishra.
That story literally gave me goosebumps, and I feel so good listening to this, and especially the part where you said that 100% of these young students have graduated, and also they have graduated from the top tier universities. That is so amazing, Amy, and thank you for all of that work. That is making this world a little better place to live in. And yes, so I am really excited to know, like, what has been that one thing that has kept you motivated throughout this journey.
That one I'll answer and refer to previous comments from Amy. Being mentored, you don't see the importance of being mentored right now, but you will see it when times goes on. So after 4 to 5 years, that's when you see, okay, being mentored was a good thing. I was benefiting from that program, even though that time I was being mentored, I did not see the importance of being mentored. That's how mentorship is. For now, it's like you are there for fun, play games, talk to someone who's overseas. But mind you, on the long run, it's something you will everything that your mentor taught you, you will use them on your workspace, career-wise, and yeah.
And certainly, talking to our mentors and our net buddies motivates me every day. I mean, it is stunning to hear the stories from both sides. I will say one of the things our net buddies don't really see themselves, but that the mentors say, every single mentor that I talk to says to me that they believe they get more out of these relationships than they can possibly be giving to their net buddies. So I know that's not true, but it certainly is nice that both our net buddies and our video mentors really believe that these relationships feed them and give them something back in their daily lives. It is really one of the things, and I'm going to come back to this in a minute because I'm going to forget to answer your original question. But you asked, what inspires us to keep going? And I'm going to get a little personal here, but the idea for Infinite Family came about in 2003 when my husband and I adopted a son from South Africa. And we just fell in love with all of the children there, and couldn't walk away from somehow helping all of them realize their dreams and their hopes and their potential, and to create the opportunities. I mean, how would it be possible to have dreams and hopes and invest in my own son without wanting to do the same thing for all of the other children in South Africa, right? All of the other children who needed role models, who needed people in their lives to push them along and to encourage them and excite them. And then coming back around and seeing what a difference it's making, right? What a difference that it makes in our kids' lives and our mentors' lives. And then having the opportunity to keep working with our older alums as they come back and inspire the young people as well. It's really just an ongoing loop of how important it is to invest in each other. And when you invest in other people, when you, as little as 30 minutes a week, right? When you invest in someone else, how much it repays you back. We really think that, like Nelson Mandela's example, and I keep coming back to this because, Nelson Mandela was leading his people his whole life, and he wasn't really sure what his next step would be or how it would get to the next level, but he never stopped believing that he had to change and find a way to make it so that all people in South Africa could thrive, that they could all create opportunities that would, make them self-reliant and successful. And if we can find a way to motivate and inspire people to join us as mentors, to make volunteering or mentoring a regular lifetime activity, like exercise, like your faith practice, like going to work every day, right? That you just make building community and investing in other people something that you do all the time. It then, just by doing that, turns around and feeds you and gives you energy for all of the other things you have to do. So I guess, the more we do this, the more it is rewarding, and that's what, makes it so wonderful to stay part of. And it is the most incredible community. I mean, Infinite Family wouldn't exist without all of our video mentors and all of the other people that help us, like you, Amishra, that are helping us get the word out. Goodera has made a really lovely video that you're sharing for us, completely unasked by us. And it's really this whole world of incredible people that are helping us do this, that make it so incredible to be part of our Infinite Family.
Amy, first of all, I would not deny the fact that I've been having goosebumps for the past 5 minutes now, more than 5 minutes, like 7 minutes. And I just loved the story that you shared. And talking about Goodera, so just like you said, it's very important to get the word out, and so that it helps both ways. It helps the society and the non-profits at the same time. So this is what we want. We want a better world, and for that we believe that we should have a very strong community of all the non-profits that are out there in the world. And yes, this is just one small part of what you are doing. And I really appreciate that. And yes, like you mentioned, that the mentors feel that they get more from the relationship than these young children, and this is just to keep the balance. And if mentors did not get all of this, they wouldn't have invested. And when you said that this investment is not that much, but then it makes a lot of difference in those young minds. So
It really does. And these relationships become, sometimes the mentoring maybe would be only for a couple of years, but the lifetime friendships,
yes.
we have friendships that have gone on as long as Infinite Family has existed.
Oh, yes. And also the impact of these friendships and relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I was just going to say, I mean, we hear stories from our mentors where they will Photoshop their net buddies' faces from their video conversations into family photos, right? Or they will have their other family members get to know their net buddy. And they sometimes they really start thinking of these young people as additional children in their hearts. And the net buddies definitely think of the adult role models as, they call them auntie and mom, and it really is life-changing, right? They become part of each other's lives, and when you touch someone that deeply, then and when you inspire them in that way, then the rest of their life you carry each other, but you also carry what you learned from each other. So in this way, our mentors are really, they are taking our net buddies and moving them so fast into, helping them build that better life. They're multiplying the speed at which by learning from each other that they can build their own better futures, right? So doing it alone, you have to learn things, step by step. But when you're learning from somebody else, you have the benefit of that whole life that moves you forward more quickly.
Absolutely correct. And it's like a jet engine for them. if we put it in a more technical word. So, Amy, I would like to know what are the few qualities of Nelson Mandela that you think everyone should adopt.
Nelson Mandela had so many incredible qualities, right? That and we can, he was an amazing man. We can't hope to be Nelson Mandela, but we certainly can adopt, as I said earlier, his resilience, resourcefulness, and responsibility to his fellow South Africans inspire me daily, right? No hurdle is too big to get over to keep going and getting back and helping somebody else. But his constant commitment to humanity, to creating, Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ngabantu, and that means I am who I am because of the community that I'm part of, and he really exhibited that. And it's something that, we continue to try and build and welcome as many people as we can into that. I mean, we are only who we are because of who we are building the world and making it a better place as part of our community. So I think that's what I'd like to share and try and inspire more people to join us.
Yes, he was a courageous man, a person who was not afraid to take risk, and I think he taught us that don't be afraid to take risk, but not foolish risk. A risk that will add value to your life and that will prepare you to move forward in life and assist you to be successful.
That was something very important that Johannes mentioned, that we all talk about taking risks, but nobody talks about taking risks from your brain, using your brains. So, Amy, with this question, we have come to the end of this interview. And I would like to thank Johannes, and thank the organization for all the great work that you've been doing so far since 2003, like you mentioned.
Well, we just thank Goodera for helping us in so many ways, bringing us so many talented volunteers, and your staff is just incredible. So we are very, very honored to be part of this community, and we hope to be part of it for a long time with as many Goodera volunteers as possible.